Lounge out to this one. You know what I mean?
Born in Harlem, former Nuyorican Poets Cafe slam member and founding member of Silent Poets, also a finalist for Soundbites New York City Poetry Festival, Indie Slam 2008 and 2009, Poetry Festival committed to youth development. This gentleman coming up to the stage works in Harlem with children, counseling special needs children. Welcome to the stage, the perfect story, Rich Story! Welcome to the Inspiring
Alright, I've had like a perfect storm of illness this week. Sore throat, runny nose, ear infection, but here we are. I can't actually hear myself right now, so if I come off a little louder than expected, I can't hear shit, y'all. Bear with me.
We're good.
My steps suggest that I'm moving to a rhythm. Call it walking to the beat of my own drum. My brothers and I stridently are stepping to a marching band. Like there's the gym baby beating inside my soul. So I suppose on quiet nights, I walk with my headphones on. No music. Just melodies made through memories. Remembering the rhythms of heartbeats acapella by bullet-based productions. Symphonies of silence harmonized in between a mother's cries and the sound of singing sirens. The instruments vary inside, but they all provide percussion. Inside, the trail of tears in the eyes of those left behind is where the string section hides. The horns can be found in the wailing voices of those who mourn. As the band plays on vocal or local and national newscasters, plus pastors, plus politicians. Missing is the baritone of father figures that never reached for us. Some say our songs only scratched the surface. I guess we couldn't get deep enough. Records spin under the drop of hypodermic needles on tracks laced with gunshots and condom pops. Sometimes, genocide can be self-imposed. We celebrate murder rates like record sales, argue over body bags like SoundScans tell me. How many times platinum is your city? In 1 year, Chicago skyline horizon saw over centuries to neighbor sunset in the grave. Detroit, Michigan has produced more coffins than cars. New Orleans steps in a perpetual second line. Because them saints are no longer marching, instead they go parking, waiting to collect the souls of the dearly departed. In New York, 500 homicides is the average annual target. We hold family reunions and funeral parlors. Nothing brings the living like the dead. Hollow bottles, empty overs out of inner city players, tax floors full of soldiers. Liquor hits the pavement before tears came to cheeks. Bullets don't have names, which is a preference for dark meat. On 144th Street, little Scotty Djembe took his last beat. His soul crescendoed at a dice game where the only gamble he took was having friends on that corner. Life expectancy made him middle-aged by middle school. Scotty, you didn't live long enough for a soundtrack of full songs. Instead, you would be eulogized by a ringtone. Can you imagine a mother watching her only son murdered at 13? They silenced his mother soprano forever, our melody would sound off-key. So I suppose that's why on quiet nights I walk with my headphones on. No music. Just melodies made through memories. Remembering the rhythms of heartbeats acapella by bullet-based productions. Symphonies of sounds harmonized in between a mother's cries and the sound of singing silence. I am tired of hearing this song. Please put the soul back in our music before there was no one left to hear our song. Alright, let me try this. It's kind of new. This is what happens when a storm cloud meets a storm chaser. They learn how a siren can signal the sound of labor, how a pendant resurrection can turn a father into a drag racer. A police escort was a precursor to my first performance at birth. For 18 years, I wondered would it be the procession to my exit. Exit wounds upon entries what I gave my mother. No wonder she called me healing. She loved me like scar tissue. My father held me like potential, but lost me in the same fashion. They gave me the fuel for this passion and the motives for the demons devoted to my craft. This is therapy in motion. The reason I don't write poems, I'm trying to reconcile my past. Move past being my brother's keeper. Too busy being my brother's father. Umbrella band-aid for my younger sister. Lifeline to my older brothers and a safety net for the tightrope walker that brought me into this world. This world will give you hot air and helium for praise. Then tell you to raise your nose, pointing at the place that raised you, but abandonment don't run on my DNA. Scapegoating don't run on my DNA, but skirt chasing has long been a hereditary feature. My granddaddy was a North Carolina boxing blues man with the E-note for a tongue and a smoke field, dimly backroom bar for a whisper. He pitched in the Negro League, drank moonshine and drove a big body Lincoln. And loved his music like he loved his women. Soulful with southern roots and rhythm driven, but can switch his tune on either just as quickly. His son was a Harlem-built, project brick-built Rucker Park player on and off the court. Was born Baptist and turned himself Catholic. Traveled the world, then turned substance and women into his new religion and placed me next in his lineage. See, I'm my grandfather's son's son. Look at where I come from. I'm expected to carry on tradition. It is said that the measure of a man lays somewhere between the amount of success and failure he carries. Know that I carry the weight of legacy balanced against the force of ambition. Red brick reality versus white picket fence dreams. And the past is always prologue. It's the reason that I look forward to hearing him call me father, but I'm afraid to hear her call me daddy for fear that God has a sense of humor and Carver has a game plan. Beneath the mask, I scream dog whistle loud to be adorned with a patriarchal crest, but I'm uneasy by the thought that I'm not humbled to be tailored by the title husband. However, fear and fantasy cast aside, know that I step in faith, believing that I will be wedding ring bound the day that fate seems fit to place me at the start line, and I take my position as my child's drag racer. I wrote this for a person who hasn't had a chance to hear it yet, but I'm hoping that she will soon enough. Dear beauty queen, cover girl, tell me, have you spoken to your mirror lately? Is your approach behind closed doors with off-turn lights, challenged by what you might see, did you argue with the reflection, or sit silent in the face of passive judgment? Did your vanity looking glass become a funhouse mirror? Was your image distorted? When some objects made it look larger than they appeared, was your face chopped and screwed? When exactly did your mind start to play tricks on you? Makeup was your first remedy. Applying foundation and blush let you cover up the scars that never existed. For years, you clutched the compact like a first aid kit, clasped on the mascara like a suture with surgeon's precision, turning any bathroom back to your hallway into a triage center. A pound of powder on your face lets you pacify the judgment in the mask, but if you ever cleared the axe, I always thought you look better without the mask. Material girl with the fetish for popping tags. Name brand confidence is what it seems she has, but a truly high self-esteem is what it seems she's lacked. Happiness should never come with the fine print. Shouldn't come with a price tag, let alone through a procedure. Cosmetic reshaping, septoplasty, rhinoplasty, nose job, nip tuck, tick-tock clock countdown to a new definition of you. Inspired by the paper thin poses placed inside of magazines that you poured over like scripture. Allow us to read from the book of L, Allure, Vogue, Vanity, More, W, Cosmo, Glamour, and any other false idols you pay homage to just to remind you of how beautiful you're not, while robbing you of how beautiful you are. Rosaries around the neck and a pocket full of psalms show that we share a similar belief in the divine. That kept in mind you were created in God's image. Your body is a temple, your face is the altar, so why would you ever choose to alter your divinity? It starts with the new nose, but what comes next? When color contact color the campesinos held present in your pupils. Born 2 shades shy of a lunar eclipse, where you bleach your skin with cake soap so there's no trace of your grandmother left. Will you starve yourself? Will you starve yourself? Diet and binge so we can xylophone your ribs and play you a new tune of beautiful. Remember, I come not to judge you, I love you, but I ask you, should happiness ever come attached to a waiver? Morena, negra, the flashing lights in your eyes plus the Hollywood tap dancing on your mind made you mute the Honduras on your tongue. Remove the Harlem from your style, but know that God makes no mistakes. You are amazing just the way you are, and if you listen closely, you can hear the ghost of Don the West whisper to you, baby, you are stronger than your insecurities, so remove yourself from this operating table. Somewhere between 1 and 2, I remember speaking my first words. Mommy, don't leave. Quiet as kept, I put tears to cheeks anytime she put her foot to step. But to hush my cries, Mommy sung me my first lullaby. She said, la 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 means I love you. And she left me there. Chasing the night air, Mommy pounded the pavement for pavements, unaware that her street dreams are feeding me nightmares. Her love affair led us to the corner, you can find my father right there. Now daddy was a dirty dude, and his skin mentality tattooed, and me I trust. Plus that he was sky high, fly like an angel, so it made sense that his swag was on dust. He lived death before this honor, mine above yours, but the wise said that pride was come before the fall. When he fought for being the king, she fell into being the fiend, and I can remember the scene. Her saying he wasn't a man no more, talked about how broke he was. He threw backhand after backhand until he drew blood, and her face was just as bruised as his ego was. But they were so happy when they had me, cause he had cash, selling pipe jeans to feet, but brushing plus pipes so pipe dreams can't last. Feeling like a failure in the future, my father stuck in the past, drinking his pain away every day, self-medicating through a glass. At his worst moments, he get so low, wild out spaz, and he'll whoop my... And as a baby, I remember getting spanked for throwing my bottle on the ground, but I was just trying to show my father how to put his bottle down. But he never took my lead. In fact, he took his leave and his love for my life that I turned 3 and thinking, how could this be? So I cried. I cried because I had the words to express how I felt. I wasn't crying because the cry was my cry to help. Thinking, please don't leave, Daddy. I need your love. And Mommy, please don't use, because I need you more than you need the drugs. But he didn't budge, and she just bugged. After he left, she started chasing men, doing things I couldn't quite comprehend. Like coming home from school and watching her lynching her limbs. I watched her tie a belt around her arm like a noose around her neck. And that had the same effect because Mommy had made you hang. Hang on corners that coroners camped out on from the calls they received. Or hang on the arms of men that I couldn't call father, you couldn't call back. I could recall that Mommy is spread her legs wide, hoping his heart would do the same, ignoring feelings of pain, thinking they could storm through the weather. I know that our stomach would stick out further than their future together. Gave birth to my little sister and still ain't getting no better. My heroine's on heroin, and it hurts to see it hurt, so forgive me for taking moments of knowledge of a woman's worth. In absentee, fathers still teach lessons to little ones. Because you can see the failures of the fathers and the flaws of their sons. And you know the old saying, like father, like son. So I'm not scared to make a commitment, I'm scared that I might run. See, it took me a generation, but I finally understand that you being the boy you were makes me the man I am. And the fact you never bothered back then makes me a better father than him. But don't get it twisted. But don't get it twisted. I don't hate you. In fact, parts of me still miss you. So know that, Father, I forgive you. And Mommy, I still keep your memory close. Even though it's been 10 years since the day that she overdosed. And still on still nights, I still cry, I still talk to her ashes. We had to cremate her, her burden's way too much to carry in the casket. But I can care less about the opinions of others, because you're only given one mother, so know that, Mommy, I still la 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 love. Okay. How much am I worth? My baby brother from the same mother's a few years younger but a few inches taller than me still looks up to me. So I'm trying to perfect myself so he can become twice the man that I hope to be. See, I know that I'm his example, his marker, his guiding light, so I'm praying nightly to the Most High that I'm guiding him right. Because I know he'll walk down the path if I'm leading the way, but viewing the past through his eyes, I realize I let him astray. See, back in high school, my friends and I thought it might be cool if we devised the game and I would place a point by you and the girls we used to lay. I remember you used to say shit like, son, you wildin', I know I get more pussy than you. Oh, word? That should've put your money where your mouth is. And with that said, we created a monster. We do one of the odds that we could conquer, all the while still claiming that we loved our mama. See, we couldn't make the connection. Because you can't think straight within the direction. Since I was just thinking with my dick, I wasn't thinking at all. We place points on everything. Her waist, her face, and her race, as a matter of fact. 100 points for Latinos, 100 points for blacks. A few more for other races because they were harder to find. I'm ashamed at the time. These were the thoughts that ran through my mind. See, 10 points for holding hands and 20 for kissing. 50 for finger fucking. 100 more if you can score. 100 more if you can score outdoors. Open up a roll, see, because we believe in practicing safe sex. The name of the game was to fuck as many as you could. It became our addiction. We broke hearts, left scars in the name of competition. All the while claiming that we were revolutionaries and freedom fighters. We were sexist, walking contradiction. See, I know I must have been out of my mind to say the least, but I didn't realize until my baby brother found my score sheet. Through smiles and laughter, he retold if I had found my score sheet and began to play right after. It's at that moment I became embarrassed and ashamed. I find myself now trying to repent and make amends. How can I ever place a value or a point on somebody's daughter, sister, or friend? And through my shame, I was able to persuade him for not playing the game, but if that's not bad enough, see, the story gets worse. I also have a younger sister who I died for in a second and killed for in an instant. Held her at birth and never since she was an infant. For her, I climbed the mountain high and dived the valley deep. And she too found my score sheet. Now I'm beyond embarrassed and I'm beyond ashamed of finding it hard to make eye contact with the little girl who shares my last name. All I want is her to be proud of me, but instead she's disgusted. And the innocence of her voice cracks as she reads every name, place, and face of every girl that I've ever violated. Now she's beyond disappointed, and her pain runs deeper than her. As she watches you store as an angel crash back down to earth, and she stares me with eyes that look just like mine, with a heart that pumps just like mine, with skin that shines just like mine, and I watch tears fall from eyes that look just like mine, and she asks me, Richie, how much am I worth?